We are currently going through a period where we are seeing the biggest changes in SEO. There are three major changes that we are going to go through in this video. I'm going to break it into two sections, going through the three major changes, and then in the second section, help you plan to implement the strategy moving forward. My name is Bradley, I'm from SEO Vendor, and I'm about to show you how to not just survive, but thrive in 2024 when it comes to SEO. Starting with the three major changes, number one is AI and SGE. SGE is Search Generative Experience. And AI is going to be quite a buzzword today because that's quite the biggest thing that's been happening, especially over this last year with the new ChatGPT and all these new AI apps and features constantly coming into play every single day. AI isn't just transforming the way marketers do marketing, but also changing the way search engines work and provide results. And number one, this major change being Search Generative Experience is probably the most profound change. Here is how it works. So when you search for something, rather than seeing the regular organic search results like this, you get this big AI-powered snapshot here on the very top. And this is really significant because instead of getting this whole list of URLs, you are now getting these three results. And of course, this means if you are not in these three links, you can see a significant amount of traffic drop. In the long term, SGE can really change the way people interact and use search engine results, just because people can now have a conversation in your search engine. AI is becoming wild. It allows you to ask follow-up questions and more personalized search. So how do you take advantage of this? Number one is to optimize your content for this. In the regular organic results, you'll see that the USDA is ranking position 1 and ranking position 3. This is something that you would kind of expect because what is a USDA loan and who will know better than the USDA? But here is where it gets exciting for marketers because the USDA is not linked to these three URLs at the very top. So just to use this as an example, the USDA has been ranking in the top search engine results for many, many years, but this gives us an opportunity to actually be ranking first. So in just a second, we're going to come back to explain what you need to do with this information. But moving on to the second major change is perspectives. Nobody really seems to be talking about this, but this is only available on mobile in the US or if you're using a US VPN. But this is already out there. Google has launched it and it is testing. So this is how it works. When you search, you will see these little filters on the top of the page. You'll see one that says perspectives. Now, we are used to seeing filters like shopping or news or images, but perspectives is something really different. And I think because TikTok and Instagram and all these short form content made such a big boom, Google decided to bring in perspectives. So when you click on perspectives, you'll see that there's some long form content, short form content, Reddit results. We've got some TikToks, a bunch of different things, but all of these are different people's perspectives. And this is very different, something we've never seen before. And this is also making its way into the regular search. You'll see when you scroll down, you will actually see some discussions and forums. So we are seeing Google testing some of these perspective links in the normal search results. So we'll come back to this in just a second, but moving on to the third major change. Number 3 is short content ranking. So yes, best practice in SEO is that you have to provide long form content for great SEO success. So everyone has been writing ultimate guides and answering all the questions they can to try and rank well on the Google algorithm. But over time, we are realizing that SEO is doing a pivot. And everyone is saying, especially the big SEO agencies, companies, people, that short form content is performing better and getting them higher on that search engine result. There's a YouTuber called Jaume that did a YouTube video on asking the top SEOs how to survive in 2024. And it's really interesting how they have the same things to say. I will link that video down in the description. Just to show you an example, this is the sort of page that you would expect to rank really well on Google. It's very, very long and it has loads of detail. It also has FAQs, all answered in detail. It's got video content, statistics, all those kinds of stuff. But maybe that's a bit too long. Maybe you just want a straightforward, simple page. Look at this page that's also ranking, and it's incredibly straightforward. We've got a couple of paragraphs of text here, and you've got a testimonial, a bit of related info, and that's about it. This is the end of the page, and that's a really short page. And look at this page over here. This is just a couple of bullet points, and the end of the page, extremely short content. We can see that Google really rewards the searcher, and it seems like people are spending a lot more time because they're getting a quicker result. With everyone having a short attention span, especially in 2024, it seems like there's this big change happening. Again, what do you need to do with this information? Let's jump into it. Okay, so it's great to know about these 3 major changes, but how do we plan for them? How do we move forward? Well, number 1, SGE. There's 2 steps to this one. Step 1 is to sign up for the SG. To do this, all you need to do is search Google Labs. So go to Google Labs, and to do this, you need to either be based in the US or just use a US VPN. This will allow you to sign up for the SGE Labs search experiment. And then once you've done this, you can use Google Chrome to start experimenting, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and implement the things that are working. Get a feel for what kind of search results in your space are bringing up SGE results. Click on the links and see what snippets of content are actually being rewarded and how does that content look like. Your ultimate goal in all of this is to collect as much information as possible and get a feel for SGE. And then step number 2 is to do testing on your own website. See the changes you can implement and see if you can get it to start ranking. By doing this, you can see exactly what levers you need to start pulling for that specific website and that specific niche. This way, if Google doesn't move forward with this, you didn't spend all your time and effort with it, and if Google does move forward with it, you are well prepared. So if Google rolls out SGE fully, then you know exactly what to do. And now number 2, which is perspectives. So the best thing to do is play around on your search results. See what type of searches are bringing up prospective content. Spend time to really get familiar with it and see what type of content it is. For example, is it videos that are coming up? Is it written reviews and discussions? And if so, go into it and see if people are recommending other brands and if you could recommend your brand. And by using this perspectives feature, you can actually notice what other people are having problems with, which gives you more insight into what you need to do to solve those problems in your niche or your agency. This can help with brand positioning and also help with your own FAQs that you are answering on your website. And number 3, what about the short content ranking? Does this mean you need to go back to your website and scratch out a bunch of things and try and make it as short as possible? No. This is how I would suggest approaching it. When you are producing new content, think about the amount of content and the value that you're providing. How much of it do you actually need to provide to be useful to customers? Let's use this website's example for instance. So I'm going to search banana pancakes, and this is a website that's really ranking. You can make banana pancakes with just 2 ingredients. So you'll see how to make 2 ingredient banana pancakes. So this seems pretty simple. Scroll down and lots of images, content. How do these only have 2 ingredients? Do I really need to read all of this? Do they really taste like pancakes? How to flip banana pancakes? And then keep on scrolling. Here's even an affiliate link for a special spatula for pancakes. It takes forever to get to the actual ingredients, and only now you get to the actual ingredients. So it seems like Google is starting to realize that things like this isn't the optimal user experience. Sometimes the users just want to get one particular thing. Currently, Google is still rewarding pages like this. So it's always good to check and see in your niche what Google is rewarding. So if you see a shorter content ranking in your niche, then by all means, try and produce a shorter form content and get it to rank. But with that being said, if you see that Google is only ranking these super long content and heavy detailed websites, then go for that, because at the end of the day, Google is using its user metrics to see what the users want. The important takeaway from this is understanding what your target audience wants and giving them what they need. Also keeping in mind, as long as Google is rewarding that. So then again, trial, test, error until you find what works. So by experimenting, you can take these 3 major changes and implement it right now, moving forward into 2024 to benefit you and your business. If you have any questions, please do leave them down in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.